Hey gang, it is the final day of elite competition here in Chicago for the 2025 Hyrox World Championships. And we have debuted a brand new format, the Elite 15 Pro Doubles. In the men's field, it is stacked. It's fast, it's furious, it's all out racing. So let's take ourselves back and remind ourselves exactly how it all went down. What do you make of that, Greg? We've obviously got our world record holders right at the top there.
Yeah, super fast world record holders in Pelayo, Menendez and Rich Ryan. But the thing that jumps out to me from that lineup is literally anyone could be on that podium at the end of the night. Like that race in particular is going to be so close, so hard to call. Like those partnerships are incredible. Like from 1 to 15.
A late change there, Colin Steefer and Grayson Kilgore coming in to replace James Kelly and Jake Didden, who dropped out, or Jake Didden dropped out on Thursday night's Elite 15 race due to back trouble. Till Schenk and Greg Williams have got a very special guest alongside them.
That is 100% right, Lauren. Great to be back here for the next race. And we've got the one and only Jake Didden with us, who really wanted to race more this weekend. It's fair if you say you'd rather be down there right now than with us.
Yeah, but it's the second best, isn't it? Obviously, I'd love to be on the start line, but yeah, we've given two other guys an opportunity to race, and I'm just excited to watch it.
The great thing is you're going to witness drama firsthand. This World Championship has delivered drama from the beginning to the end. We just saw it, we just heard it from Lauren, with Lucy and Jeanette thinking they were the world champions. Then there was an additional penalty. They were relegated to second. But the true drama queens throughout this weekend have been our men. So I think this will be very exciting. We've all seen the drama of last night with the relay with one major player in the middle of the screen here. With Jeremy, and with that we're jumping into this man's doubles race. It's going to be wild, there is no doubt. This is going to be furious. This is going to be I don't know if fight is the right word, but I think this might just be a wild race today.
It's going to be stacked.
It's going to be crazy. And I think this is the hardest race to call. We've done terrible at calling races so far this weekend.
Oh yeah, which I feel like is our job. At least it makes us, sound not biased.
But yeah, there's so little between all these 15 teams. It's going to be super fast, super exciting.
So here we go, the Dutchies first into the workout station. It's been a really good weekend already for Hiddewersma, and now racing with Thierry Willigenberg in station number 1 here. Then we got Wenisch and Jannik Czapla for Germany in next. And yeah, you mentioned it, an unlikely duo with Jake Williamson and Alan Floyd. How did that happen?
I'm not entirely sure. In all honesty, I know Jake felt that the doubles and the relay in particular suits his fitness level, suits his style of racing, and he was desperate to get into this race tonight. He hadn't managed it up until the London race, and I know he was like looking for suitable partners at that point, and ultimately, yeah, partnered up with Anna.
All right, I don't think that the numbers are right that we're seeing here on the left. Rich Ryan, our graphic right now, standing at 626 meters. So that is certainly not right what we're seeing there, but our first duo's out, Wenisch and Jannik Czapla. And then here we go, Ploy and Williamson, the Dutchmen are out. Here comes Dylan Scott, Jeremy with him, Charlie Bottrell. Charlie Bottrell, I mean, he very clearly said 2 days ago, he's here for one mission. That is surprising me, seeing Pelayo and Rich Ryan come out just now. Oh no, drama, we promise you drama, I cannot believe it. Rich Ryan and Pelayo Fernandez are out of the race. We don't know yet what has happened, but the ski erg standing still, apparently not a surprise. It looks like there's drama and trouble with Pelayo.
I hope he's okay. He mentioned that he had a little bit of tendonitis the other day when he was racing the Elite 15. Essentially, it's that.
Oh, the first expectation is that he blew his calf in that first run, going out hard with the others. That just must feel too familiar right now, Jake.
I feel for him, I really do. And like I say, you know, he's not just feeling bad, he's probably feeling bad for Rich as well, because, you know, Rich is standing there next to him, ready to go.
But we also know, I mean, that is a great thing about them being them, is we know Rich is not a single percent angry at Pelayo. They tried it together, they hit those incredible races throughout the season with the world record and everything, and they will be back without a doubt. But this is the duel at the front right now, and I'm properly impressed with Jannik Czapla. He seems to have found his running legs here for the doubles today. And I was just talking to Tom Hogan on the way here to commentary, and he asked me who I think has a real shot. And I said, well, the ones that create the least drama. And, you know, among Pelayo and Rich, I said, I think Tim and Jannik might have a real shot. And he said, no way, Jannik is not strong enough. Wait and see. It's early in, but this is a format that really suits him.
And they're moving the sled super well at the moment. They've done a length unbroken each. Tim's just done the second, or his second length, the third length unbroken as well. So they're moving very well through this.
Yeah, but that's the second thing that is rude. Hidden shouldn't be running that as fast as he is, considering how tall he is. Tim shouldn't be pushing a sled the way he does, considering how skinny he is.
Interesting. Tim's done 2.5 lengths. Jannik's done 1.5 there. So you know, great tactics there, considering Tim's the faster runner.
But I think it's a really smart move.
For sure.
That considering Tim is also the stronger runner, have him finish off the workout, give that little bit of extra rest to Jannik, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Just as Jannik was running out there, he was like waving to the crowd, spurring them on, getting good cheers, and like when someone's doing that, they're feeling good, right? And
to everybody who's out on the screen, you're really missing out. I mean, we have the comparison to the last couple of World Championships, and this is another step up. The crowd now understands the sport, they know the players in the sport and everything. It's the same we've seen with that farmer's carry from Sinead Bent earlier. Jannik Czapla waves to the crowds, and we can barely understand the word in here anymore. The crowds are going nuts. It's really fantastic to see. That is absolutely hectic. It is what we've predicted. It is what we've assumed. I mean, talking to the teams as we got the leaders coming into workout number 3 now, talking to the different doubles throughout the weekend, pretty much every single one of the 15 doubles said, oh yeah, of course we can win this. There's no doubt. Everybody believes they can win this here today, and this is what we're seeing right now. I mean, there's only been 2 workouts, but 34 seconds between first and 15. That is absolutely wild, and now it's all coming down to how fast can they move those sleds. The Germans a little bit ahead, but I'm keen on seeing what second place can do here.
This could be an important station for Tim and Jannik. So if we look at their Paris result, they're actually 21st on the sled pool in Paris. So this is probably their weaker station relative to the other races in their qualifying race. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they do on this one.
And you see, they're still a few seconds ahead, but strong pull in there from the chasers behind. Marcus Wallace, Dawson, Miller. It looks like they might have actually moved past the 2 Dutchmen just a little bit, just like 1 pull ahead of Hyrox and Thierry Willigenberg now. Again, 4 lanes to be done here, and we're looking a little bit at the top 4 here, but with the top 15 being so close, we've seen this in the women's race, there might be really strong movers a little further down the field, so let's see what the standings are after this workout. But that is some serious movement we're seeing here right now from Ryle and Schadegg. That is fast sled pulling.
Marcus is catching them up, the neck and neck, almost.
Oh, now we're seeing the top 4 teams so close together. And actually the Germans drop into 3rd now. So we've got Tim Wenisch, Jannik Czapla, we've got Hyrox, Thierry Willigenberg, we got Marcus Wallace and Dawson Miller in the mix there as well, but also Ryan Kent and Ryle Schadegg. They are moving right now. They've taken the virtual lead at the sled pull, and the Germans need to be real careful now that they're not losing too much ground, because Two teams have gone past them now. So Max Wallace, Dawson Miller, and Ryan Kent and Ryland Schadegg now gone past the Germans, and they're shoulder to shoulder, neck to neck now with the two Dutchmen. And here we go. We've got a new leader heading out. Oh no, here we go. Short confusion, and here they go. So, Ryan Kent, Ryland Schadegg out first, then Marcus Wallace, Dawson Miller, and here we go. Oh, a little bit of drama there for the Dutchmen. They are called back. The sled was not far enough back. They're losing a few valuable seconds. Okay, I'm curious about that one. So, the referee made the effort to show the empty lane a yellow card. Oh. I mean, there's no repercussions to a yellow card once they're gone, really. They were called back to finish the pull, so that's an interesting one. And here we go, Dylan Scott with his partner Jeremy from Ireland. They are a little further behind than I would have expected.
Yeah, Jeremy's definitely more suited to doubles and relay, like Jake Williamson is, you know, a very similar athlete. But yeah, I'm surprised that they're so far back.
But Ryland Schadegg and Ryan Kent, they were the big movers in this one. They came in fourth, they left in first, and this is what it looked like. Here we go. So strong. Short confusion on where to go. Hold on, what's happening? Oh, that was 4 already. It looks like he wasn't certain that they were done.
It's Ryan Kent and Ryland Schadegg here. They finished second in their qualifier for this race in Miami behind Pelayo and Rich Ryan, but they set a 49.19 time, which at the time would have been a world record if it hadn't been for Pelayo and Rich also breaking the world record in that race. A super fast time they've got in them. If
it hadn't been for them, and here we see it, a red card for our Australian friend double, so Daniel Payne and Tango Cruz. Red cards. And here we go, we got our top teams all bunched up together, the top 3. Only Hyrox, Thierry Willigenberg just trailing a little bit with Jake Williamson and Alan Floyd there now as well, right behind. This is an incredibly close race. We've seen a few teams lose valuable times now, time at the sled, but we're still talking 37 seconds after the sled between first and 10th as we're now coming into the next workout station.
So Tim and Jannik have made up over 12 seconds there on that run, so looking particularly strong on the runs.
And here we go, burpees.
Burpees. All right, do your magic, Greg. You know, is there a team that might have a weakness at the burpees?
That's a good question. I think Tim and Jannik moved particularly well on that through Paris, as did and Ryland Schadegg and Ryan Kent moved well on theirs in Miami. So I wouldn't say there's an obvious weakness with any of these teams on this station, in all honesty. But it is one where like seconds matter and
yellow card,
penalties matter. Yeah. So is
yellow card for Jannik Czapla.
Communication is key on this one.
I mean, that head judge, you know, it is the toughest judge you can find. She's a CrossFit athlete herself. You know, next yellow card, so Hyrox and Thierry Willigenberg seeing a yellow card as well. Great aerial shot that we're having off the turf here. And a red card for the Germans. Red card for the Germans. There is your 10-second penalty already for Germany. They got to be real careful now. 2 lanes and a red card already. That is going to put some pressure on you.
And Tim and Jannik as well with a red card, was that?
That is the red card I meant, so yeah. And if I heard Faisal down on the ground correctly, there might have been a red card for the Dutch team now as well. Like, how do you respond to that? It's got to just, you know, play with your confidence.
Another red card. Another red card? Is that... 10 seconds there.
Another red card for the Germans, 20 seconds. Oh my word. I mean, we said it, we had drama in the women's race, and we said the drama is far from over. The men are delivering. 2 red cards for Team Germany. We got to quickly jump back to what happened in the women's race. All right, so with Jeanette Bent and Lucy Proctor getting a penalty, and then 10-second penalty, they brought it to the wall balls. They won the race by 6 seconds, only to find out there was another 15-second penalty for a mishap at the sandbag lunges. That's 25 seconds they had that cost them the title of the world champion. The German team now has a 20-second penalty already.
Well, Jannik's got some homework, burpee practice.
He definitely has. Good day. He's got a good coach in Tim Wenisch. Just in a picture run out, Charlie Bottrell. So what happened? Oh, okay, yeah, no parallel step would be my best guess. Oh, and look at that reaction by Tim Wenisch. Not happy. You do not need to translate that into German, what we've just seen here. So, here we go. So we hope not much goes wrong. So here we go. Unemployed Jack Williamson coming in as well. And behind them is the man who promised us a show, Charlie Bottrell. It's about time he begins the show.
He's there. What is that full spot there?
And Bo Wills, who's just so calm and quiet and strikes without, you know, you can't see him, and he just strikes in the second half of the race. Yeah. I love seeing Charlie Bottrell cheer on the crowds there right now, but somebody needs to explain him the show doesn't mean entertain the crowds. The show means let's go hard. Focus your energy, my friend, on racing hard here, but you got to love Charlie Bottrell and the way he approaches this sport. I think he's going to be a household name for years to come. And Jannik Czapla, Tim Wenisch, they are out, but they are still shoulder to shoulder with Ryan Kent and Ryland Schadegg, but they got the 20-second penalty. So in the virtual, they're now 20 seconds still behind. They need to find a way to give Jannik Czapla wings and somehow drop Ryan Kent and Ryland Schadegg in this workout or the next couple of workouts. Here they go into the Farmer's Carry. We're about to find out.
Here we go.
Tim Wenisch, how hard can he go in this Farmer's Carry? That is the big question. 1 3/4 loop around this grid. And then out, you got to drop him clean. And here come the chasers. Oh, this is still very, very close in the front. One thing we can say for certain right now, most people speculated we're going to see a showdown of 4, 5, maybe 6 teams at the wall balls. I think the gaps are now starting to open up a little more.
They are, but just remember that we saw Sinead and Lucy get nearly 20 no reps. So that can be, you know, 45 seconds up to a minute.
Let's go, Jannik.
Look at Jannik Czapla. Jannik Czapla, he is trying to find redemption for the 30 seconds that he cost the German team. He's just got to get the 2 Dutchmen out of his way now. Caught onto the kettlebells, put him down clean. That is the important thing, not exactly a German strength, but it looks like they've done it. And out onto the run, and here come the chasers. It's not a lot, but they made up about 5 of the 30 seconds now.
That's Jannik saying sorry.
Oh, and more drama. They're called back. The kettlebells tipped over for Ryan Kent and Ryland Schadegg. That is unbelievable. I want to see if that impacts the race, because I assume there might be a penalty on top of just being called back. I'm not 100% sure.
I think if you go back and
if you go back, you're golden. But that cost them serious time. So the gap was 30 seconds because of the penalty. They came in shoulder to shoulder, so 30 seconds between them. Then Jannik Czapla made a fantastic move at the farmer's carry, opening the gap to about 5 seconds. And then that drama for Ryan Schadegg and Ryan Kent. Wow. Have we just seen the race deciding moment?
It could be. I was working through the data, trying to work out where maybe Tim and Jannik could pick up, you know, the time on the stations, and it didn't look to be a lot between them. But obviously, my spreadsheets don't factor in dropping the kettlebells and having to turn around and pick them up. That's like, things like that can make a huge difference.
Wow, what a race we're seeing here.
These guys are pushing themselves to the limit at the moment as well.
It's absolutely incredible. Sandbag lunges. Another technical workout, I want to say. This is another one where you really want to be very clean. I'm not sure Jannik Czapla is too excited to see the same referee again right now.
He's looking well though, he's looking strong there. Perfect reps.
So it was a 17-second lead, I think Tim and Jannik had over Ryan coming into that. So effectively, we're taking to the 30-second penalty, the 13 seconds behind.
Which is still not enough. So they got to be swift now. They got to keep it clean. They got to be fast. But that was really good looking and fast lunges we've seen for Jannik there. But they still need to open up more. Oh, that's an interesting one. Again, that was miscommunication, nothing else, right?
Yeah,
what we've seen there.
Yeah, that was a pretty poor transition.
So it looks like they just mistook the lane, that little square lane, Rylan and Ryan, for the turnaround point, but it wasn't. So it switched over with one lunge to go. Oh, but they are moving well as well now. That is really strong lunges from Jannik Czapla. You know what it's a really long step, and you know how much strain that puts on your muscles.
Yeah, it affects you completely differently. Obviously, it loads the hamstrings and glutes a lot more. When it comes to running after, you definitely feel it.
Tim's moving super well through those.
Yes, and if you compare that to the individuals, you know they're going absolutely all out. They're not taking those little in-between steps that you see in the individuals. It's really about every second now.
Now this is where the tactics change. In my opinion, you know, you're running this last K as fast as you can. And whoever has anything left in them is picking up that wall ball and doing as many reps as they can. Whether that's just 10 reps, 15 reps, and then quick change. And then, personally, I found that's the most efficient way, rather than just pacing it and saving something for the wall balls.
So go all out. You are two people there, so one can recover, that's for sure. But the importance, I think, and that's what we've seen throughout the race over and over again, is you need one who's at least has got enough oxygen in the head to focus on the target, because that's the thing with the elite. Those boards are dialed in. There's a very small diameter that you need to hit. You got to get them clean into the center.
For sure, you've got to focus, but you know, our leaders not got enough time. But you know, Tim and Jannik, Jannik just needs to sprint as fast as possible, and Tim will keep up with him and then start the wall balls, in my opinion.
So we've got a three-way duel. You heard it. The expectation is Jannik all-out sprint, Tim staying with him, starting the wall balls. They will be the first into the wall balls, but there will be that virtual 30-second deficit that they have. The question is, how big is the gap coming out of the sandbag lunges, and can they put in the work they need? It is coming down to the showdown here at the wall balls. Tim Wenisch, as predicted by Jaden, is starting off, and he's starting off well and clean. That is very important. Not to no rep, the way we've seen that from Lucy and Sinead, because every second counts, every second matters right now on that Spanish duo.
He looks locked in now.
He does look locked in, but how big is the gap on the chasers? Here they come. It is Schadegg and Kent coming in with a 17 wall ball deficit. Boy, oh boy.
Have you got data on that? How quick are the wall balls being made?
Is it typically 3 seconds a rep, would you say?
Yeah, I reckon 2-3 seconds a rep. So if you double that, 15 seconds ahead, or 15 wall balls ahead, that's 30 seconds. Oh, it's going to be close.
And there is a no rep for Ryan and Rylan, another no rep there. So it's 17 now because Tim is still keeping it absolutely clean. We're seeing the drama. We're seeing a race that they cannot directly compare because they know they've got that penalty. They got the 30 seconds. They just got to do their thing. They cannot focus on the competition. 40 wall balls in. And the deciding factor at the end of the day might be that there's yet another no rep for Rylan and Ryan, actually now allowing Roberto and Luis now to crawl back up to that duo. Another no rep there. It's a 19 wall ball lead for Tim and Jannik now. And Jannik's got to find his rhythm here very quickly. It's quite normal to maybe be a little bit off balance. Oh, no rep there. He cannot afford those. He cannot afford those no reps. It's only 16 now. So Rylan and Ryan doing a great job to stay with him. Tim Vin is trying to cheer on the crowds. Jannik Czapla, he's found his rhythm now. He is going smooth. Another no rep for Rylan and Ryan. They are now behind the Spanish duo. The Spanish duo is now the bigger threat for the two Germans at this stage. 68-69. This is going to be an absolutely wild finish.
It's going to be down to the wire.
It's going to be so down to the wire. What's your take? Is Jannik going to go through with it? They're 18 wall balls ahead of the Spanish duo. The Spanish duo, they've gone properly past Ryan and Rylan. Jannik Czapla is going to finish this off. It is 85 now for them, 15 to go.
Redemption for Jannik.
I want to say exactly that. If he pulls this off, it is redemption.
Look how smooth the wall balls are, how upright he is, perfect mobility. He's so smooth, and that just increases the cadence. 5 left.
Here we go. It is looking really good despite the penalty for the two Germans. I want to say I called it before the race. I told you, Tom Hogan. Here we go. Jannik Czapla, Tim Vinish, and now it is going to be the longest 30 seconds of their life. But look at that. The chasers are the Spanish. Another no rep for the Spanish now. And they still got 10 to go. This is in the back for Tim and Jannik. Can we agree? Jake is still not willing to call it.
That's useless, yeah.
He's still holding his breath. Well, of course, we're going to wait for official confirmation. But even if Roberto and Luis, who are sprinting across the line now, come in second, that is euphoria. That is incredible what they're showing there. And that was just the two co-founders here. Instant confirmation of the time. They're talking to our man on the ground. And let's see what the verdict is. All right, that is just double checking that everything is clear, that we're not seeing the same drama that we've seen in the women's race. Here come Rylan and Ryan. Oh, and look at how close Viciedo and Bo got between Rylan and Ryan, which is a typical Bo Welch move once again.
Yeah. Barely talked about him throughout the race, and then he appears to always there.
Yeah, such a strong finisher, always.
Listen to that. Tim Vinish and Jannik Czapla, it is officially confirmed. They are the world champions. And I gotta say, I mean, the way Jannik screwed the pooch halfway through the race and then decided, hey, I'll make up for it. The way he brought this race back, that is impressive.
It's incredible. Man of the match.
Man of the match, absolutely. I mean, you know, you
to become a 30-second penalty in a race in this caliber. Incredible, really.
In the last two workouts, I mean, that is absolutely incredible. The Germans going ballistic in the crowds here. Silke Arning hugging them, one of the athletes, coached by Tim Vinish. Tim Vinish taking 2 titles here in Chicago. Greg is headed down to the studio. Jake, just quickly, in your words, what's your take on the race we've just seen?
I think it's my new favourite race. I think, yeah, it's so good to watch. It's such a good spectator sport, the doubles. Yeah, and I'm just so proud of the German lads. You know, like I said before, like they're such amazing people, and they deserve it.
To the men of the hour, Jannik, come over here. Come on, squeeze in, don't be shy. Look at that finish up on the screen, gents. Look at what it means to you both. Jannik, can you sum up the moment for me? You're a world champion.
Yeah, unbelievable.
You need to use the microphone.
Yeah, thank you.
Talk me through your feelings when you're crossing the line and you've got a gold medal. You've hit the gong, you're a world champion.
Yeah. The feeling is unbelievable. So it's, yeah, I can't imagine. We crossed the line and was unsure if we are the world champion or not. We had the penalty of 30 seconds. And then we got to go and we are world champion, and yeah, I have no words. It was unbelievable feeling.
I'm so proud of you both. You guys, you're super close friends. Tim, you've already taken the world champion today in the Elite 15, but now you get to do it alongside someone that has been on this journey with you. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot. I mean, I'm generally from a team sport like football, and to win as a team is always special. And especially with a good friend like Jannik, he has a great season and also a tough season, and it means a lot to enter season with him as a world champion. And yeah, let's celebrate the weekend together and just be happy. And of course, again, goal for Germany.
Yes! Germany are killing it this weekend. Oh my gosh, okay. Please talk me through the communication, especially on the runs.
Yeah.
What were you, because you were permanently looking back on him, making sure that he was all right behind you. How were you communicating? What were you saying?
Just motivate him, and especially I said to him a lot that we could be a new world champion, yeah? And that is, I think, the great motivation. And yes, just to calm down, to give him confidence, and yes, just, yeah, to race as a team.
Talk me through your recovery after the penalties, because it's never easy to get a penalty, but it's how you react to that penalty. That's what truly matters, and you reacted brilliantly.
Yeah, we only have to react to run faster. We have more time at the end. It's easy.
And generally, I hoped also that the other teams get also a penalty, but no, it wasn't the case, but yeah.
You guys, obviously, we have got a long season ahead next year. It's going to include both the Elite 15, which I know you both are going to want to be in. Tim, you've obviously already got an automatic bid, but also the doubles. Is this a partnership that we're going to see continue?
Of course, so we are the world champions, so we need to continue the partnership together and to define the title.
What's the off-season look like, Jannik? What are you doing in the off-season? What off-season?
Yeah, in the off-season, first 2 weeks, relax, to do what I want, and yes, then a lot of running work, and yeah, to prepare for the next season.
Sounds utterly amazing. Tim, after party. What's your favorite thing to talk about?
Yeah, so the last 2 days was just easy days with some beers with good friends, but now...
You've been drinking beers in between?
Of course.
Of course.
I need to start celebrating, but now this evening, tomorrow, Monday, and when I'm at home, just to celebrate with friends. Tonight with Jannik, we are world champions, so it's the end of a great season, and now it's time to celebrate us, our friendship, and also our title.
Beautifully said, sir. Greg, that was an unbelievable race. Here is how it finally shook out, because especially with the time penalties, we were on the edge of our seats. We have the German duo. That is a lot of goals for Germany over the course of the weekend. And when you think about the new season starting next year in Hamburg, how exciting is that for them? The Spanish team, Ryan Kent and Rylan Schadegg, and then that 4th place for Bo Wills and Eugenio Bianchi. Wow. Yeah, I mean, we know he comes back at the back end of the race, but that is a really great performance. And then Jake Williamson, Alan Ploy, Just having a thumbs up from people walking past us. 9th for Russell and Bottrell. Hidde Wiersma and Willenberg in 10th. It was actually a bit of a shake-up, quite frankly. I'm not sure I would have predicted that kind of finishing, but that just goes to show how unpredictable the doubles is.